considering the fact that if you take a look at where they're positioned right now, on the eastern side, there's that one compound around those four compounds around that junction, around that little bridge, small bridge that we have. So always having that contingency to themselves, that insurance policy, that even if the circle takes that northern shift, you still will be in a good position to make those rotations. So Bablu, I really wanted to see how much of a loot do they have on themselves at this given moment, as the players of Quraysh felt right beside R3D, and we could see a fight in the making.
I don't think Team Bablu is having too many resources in their hands, because the minute the circle formed, they went for the rotation on the northern side. So they need the loot. They need the secondary loot on those compounds of northern Jordan, which they can find easily. So I'm not worried about the resources of Team Bablu as much for now. But talking about the other team that is also heading for a very early rotation are going to be players of Team Star going for Siverny. Well, that's a good decision and a wise decision coming from the side of Star, because in these kind of circle, Team Star usually tend to perform really good.
Yeah, I mean, Siverny always being their home city, right? They know the
Yeah.
nooks and crannies of that region, and they know if the circle takes that northern shift, then it could also be their back-to-back chicken dinner game. So Team Star, they've been on a whole different level right now with the way they've been forming, the confidence they're exuding. And for now, I mean, it's been a rather slow affair. Haven't seen a lot of things happening inside this lobby. But one thing for sure, rather I'm surprised. Team Star, they got so excited after winning that chicken dinner that their fourth player could not even make it inside the lobby. What on earth is happening?
Ouch. That's not something we anticipated, because when you get a win, you tend to grab too many wins to keep up the momentum and have a very good lead in the overall ranking. But yeah, Team Star, well, we don't know. There could be a possible valid reason for the fourth player not joining the lobby. But let's see, with three-man army, Team Star, what they're going to do. But Team Magnus, they were in the Pochinki area right now. They're going for an early rotation, and Rozak is the area that is going to be full of bloodbath, because so many teams are trying to hold on to the vicinity of Rozak.
Oh yeah, of course. I mean, Rozok is definitely going to be one of those crucial areas to hold on to, and also could possibly, uh, you know, be one of those areas where the circle also could pan down to. As Team Magnus, they are making their way inside the zone as Money, all right, goes after Knock Knock, the Regicide. They're trying to rotate around, and they are gonna escape unscathed. No serious amount of damage being dished out from their side, as a Shad also not getting botched even a little bit. So Regicide, they have successfully carried on with the rotation, but it's going to be interesting to see where the circle shifts next. H2E, they're already banking upon the fact that the circle might be moving a little bit towards that northern side. And hence, so many of those teams, including 52 Esports, they've all decided to play for the center of the circle. T20 QWERTY are yet to make a move from Lipovka. Triple Esports have already made the move right over Yasnaya. But Quraysh Esports, now they might have a fight in their hands, as Quraysh. In fact, the players of the Faulty Devils are at the volcano spot, and there you come. He goes out for scouting out, steps out of his vehicles, and Sad Boy gets picked off by Money. As now the entire cavalry decides to strike, and he needs to take one of these more fights, waiting for that perfect time for his teammate to come out, but does not really wait for that, as Ahmed gets the better out of Money, and Quraysh find themselves in a little bit of a trouble.
Well, mid-rotation fights are something no team wants to have, and TFD Faulty Devils were forced to have this fight, and right now one of the player is still bleeding out. So let's see if they can revive. The revival is possible in this kind of a situation. I think it's possible, because Quarish Esports are in the adjacent compound, and they're in no mood to rush towards the players of TFD, at least for now, but they have their vehicles ready, so there is a possibility of Quarish Esports showing on their doorstep. But one defeat points already in the favor of Faulty Devils. Quarish outnumbered in this fight, so I don't think they are picking up this fight. They have already made it an escape, but they can cross paths with the players of Team IAT Esports, because they are all in the close proximity.
Let's see what's gonna happen, as the Faulty Devils. They've made a really good move, really scouting out, realizing that Quraysh, they had just one player over there. Instantly go in, get the knock, get finished. Did have Sad Boy knocked out, but wasn't really a pressing concern because, of course, they managed to get that revive. As Quraysh Esports have no funny business because they're now around those cool areas. And this is where I'm starting to wonder if they really made the right choices over here. Because they're completely rooting on the fact, again, the circle to be making a curveball towards that southern side. I8 also deciding to cross over the bridge, and if they do that right now, they are gonna land themselves in a whole world of trouble as Hunter has taken some decent amount of damage at 52 esports. Courtesy to that central style of play, now they're in a good position to dish out some generous amount of damage to the players of Triple Esports.
Triple Esports week 1, day number 1 was definitely in their favor when they got the maximum points. But after that, they started facing a downfall and they have not been able to recover. Day number 3 of week 2, they showed some signs where they can show a good performance and can step up in the overall ranking. But otherwise, this team has always been dishing out a lot of damage and picking up the bad fights. So let's see if this time they have worked on their mistakes, because right now 52 Esports, another team that is not having a very good outing throughout the day number 3 was in their favor. So let's see these two teams who are right now on the bottom of overall ranking, how they're going to perform, as 50 getting a good control of the compound. They have a hard compound for themselves, but Triple Esports, can't they say the same thing? Oh, they still have a good compound, but Regicide is all in the vicinity.
Oh. Knock knock. I don't know if Rex knows exactly where the shots are coming from. If you could see through the foliage of the trees, as Rex could get shot. And the AWM haven't really seen the big green cannon at all in action throughout the entire course of this tournament. And suddenly, I mean, maybe we might have a point where it could just vanish. Could just get taken down and whoa, again. The circle. So tricky. I8 in a good position, but now so many of these teams have taken that northern area that now they have to reconsider the strategies, and this is a perfect time for Freestyle to really make their way inside the zone. And if they take control over those ruins church areas, I think they could be in a really good contention to win this game.
Certainly, they had a control of the Everest out there, so that means they have information and intel onto the other teams that are rotating from the close proximity. So they can, I think they are also in the mind of holding the ruins in the church area. But I8 could be the team that could contest that position, the spot inside the circle. But on the southern side, the players of Meteor, Short Sky, and Quraysh Esports, who are outnumbered and in split situations. So Quraysh Esports, I think, is not looking so good right now.
Indeed, it isn't. At least for now. Like you said, Quraysh Esports, well, they've managed to get the better out of Meteor Shot Sky. Zibyan, however, falling prey to JD from H2E. So fights are beginning to start, and it is gonna be a bloodbath on that western areas because the grounders are also closing in. Triple Esports are also in the mix. But now Quraysh Esports are deciding to make their way to the Water City, maybe. As we get a little bit more clarity. Zibyan also falling down. H2E does have really good control over this place, as now Kian has been knocked out as well. Triple Esports might chime into this fight any given moment, but Team Blue, they've got to make a run for their lives.
Well, they have to, because H2E is picking a fight with them, and Team W have already lost 2 of the players. That means Pika and Team Wolf are the only lone survivor. Only 2 players surviving from the side of Team W, and they need those points. Although they are in a good spot in the overall ranking, but they don't have that amount of lead in the point that they can afford to have many bad games. But right now, Quraysh Esports, they have those little bit of the ridges to work around with, but Team Star, the one that is picking fight with Quantum Rage as Goku hits the ground.
Oh yeah, he indeed does. And now Meteor Shot Sky, well, very scattered from each other. I really need to process what's going on in their minds. Khatir does come to his aid of his fallen teammate, but Ash will get finished off before that. Hasni gets that finish point secured, as now that northern side, so many teams migrating, and T20 QWERTY taking that northern route. I do not know if that's the right decision to make at this point. So many of these teams waiting for them as heading towards Bablu's direction. And I don't not know if it's gonna work out well and fine. But for now, we do have Triple Esports deciding to take a fight against the lads from H2E. And Assad gets a beautiful knock on towards Rex. Needs to patch himself up as JD needs to get that nade connected. But from backlines, it's gonna be the players of Team Magnus who are trying to poke them. And as you can see, the circle shifting and favoring the lads of the grounders. Even as a matter of fact, Team Magnus also having a really good position. But now this is where Triple Esports decide to push in at H2E's direction, where Kian is trying to go in for a retreat. Can he make it into covers at the right nick of time? Yes, indeed he does. But H2E need to get themselves out of this situation because the compound they're holding right now is outside the zone.
But it's certainly outside the zone, and Triple Esports Hug is waiting for the players to come out in the open and punish them. He was in the mood of dropping Molotov, but he's just going to wait for the players to come out, and that is when he and his teammates are going to strike. But they also need to move inside the circle, so this is a moment when they can prioritize the circle instead of prioritizing the fight. But right now they are showing on the doorstep of Team H2E, and let's see what's going to happen as this fight is breaking outside the safe zone. As fifth circle is going to close in, but Rex finds a knock onto Kian, and he himself gets straight off by JP.
Oh yeah, it was a good executed fight from Triple Esports. Well thought. Target does have that high ground advantage. Psycho just goes ramming, pushing in, hammering every single soul down from H2E as Triple Esports. A very confident push coming from their side, and now they're in such good contention to enter inside the circle, at least safe and sound. But now we've got to see where does the circle shift next. Pika has been dealt with by the boys from T20 QWERTY, 420 boy, managing to get that knock as JD resorts to take a dip inside the waters. Quraysh Esports at this point, as we can see, are in a decent spot in that little island in between Rozok and that northern island. Small little place. Freestyle still have control over those ruins area. Quantum Rage, the team that you went for, Shadow, again in shambles, reduced to a two-man squad. But now it's gonna get even more tougher because Regicide, they're right on their tails.
Certainly, Regicide are on tails, and on the northern side, 52 Esports is also there. But Regicide, their attention is towards the players of Team 40 Devils, who are on the little low ground, and Nocto was trying to lob few grenades, but he doesn't know exactly what the players of 40 Devils are, so he's just wasting away his own resources. But Daku is going to retaliate with a follow-up grenade. Can he find a knock? Because Hunter is on a very low HP, and Daku is going to miss that. But Pharaoh, with that buggy, being the brave guy, is going to close the distance between the players of Triple Esports.
Yeah. And Baz, has spotted out Ahmed in the process. But for now, let's see. Meteor Shot Sky getting the better out of the players of R3D as Ahmed just surviving, but no, not enough. Baz eventually connects that last final bullet, and TFT, they're under the bridge of death. Nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. What do they do now, Shadow?
They better survive because Quraysh Esports is also in the close proximity, and they can do a third party. But right now, Ashad is focusing his attention towards Quraysh Esports, who are in a split situation. So even Quraysh is not looking so good, and the circle also takes a western shift right in the hands of the players of Grounders and QWERTY. QWERTY, they have the height numbers advantage, but let's see which team is going to get it. On the northern side, we have the players of Magnus as well.
Oh, we certainly do. Look at Pain. Does have that little vehicle to provide him that cover, at least for now. As Baz, he just wants to keep on pressing. He knows, they are fish in a barrel, and good. Those shots connected, but Psycho, just when he thought he had that knock faster from nowhere, decides to take him down. And for Magnus, it's not going to be a point where they decide to push against the zone, as Blade gets picked off. Has his vehicle exploded as Team I8 kind of being caught in the mix between R3D and Freestyle. It's going to be a difficult time for them to kind of make it inside the zone, fighting it out against the two. But finally, we do see the circle taking that southern shift. And this is where Freestyle can make some early movements inside the circle. But no, it's not going to be possible because I8, they are in mood to pick up a fight.
They have to pick this fight, and IQ with the grenade finds a knock onto Malik over there. That could be the opening that I8 was looking for, but they also need to be careful of the teams that are rotating from the close proximity. But somewhere else, the fight between Quresh and Faulty Devils are still happening, and Faulty Devils is the one that is losing out on the plus. And other beautiful grenade comes from the side of IQ, takes Wati also down, and Team Freestyle, who was looking very strong and good up until now, are tumbling down one after other as the Zarwaf also hits the ground due to vehicle explosion.
Oh, indeed he does. Now for this particular moment, gotta see if IQ can connect all these grenades. Oh, beautifully well executed by this lad, wiping the floor. Freestyle meeting their makers as I beautifully managed to make their way, carve their way inside the circle as Quantum, or rather Quresh Esports over here. Well, let's see. Asni. Oh, inside the waters. But got picked off as Spain. He needs to get some healing done. Does have nothing left really on him. As Clown stepping out of cover will get the better out of Pain. Would want to secure that knock instantly. As Quresh, 7 finishes strong already. But that's all that he could get. As he gets knocked out, picked off, as Sardarji needs to come to his rescue, to his aid. But look at this. The river almost turning red with blood. So many bodies just getting buried. As I8, they've taken good control over this circle, and seems like this could be their game to lose, Shadow. But no, Rollin spots out Uzum, and this is the perfect time for Team Magnus to really resort to a push. But it's going to be a little tricky affair with so many of these teams inside the water. It's getting so much more exciting now.
Certainly is, because I8 they have been looking very good up until now, but right now, like you mentioned, one of the players has already been taken out and is bleeding out. Looks like there is no chance of a revival. No, there is a chance of revival, and he's again back on his pay. 52 Esports, Quarish Esports are the teams who are the fishes in the water, and along with them are the players of Team R3 as well. Triple Esports, so many teams. This could be the game of grounders as well, as long as they are able to isolate the fights and pick the few players. But Thug is a guy who's picking players right now. Triple Esports, let's see how they are going to move inside the circle, because this time if they're giving away the position, they're also ruining their chance of moving inside the circle.
Oh, look at this. Destroyer finally brought down, sent back to the lobby. But Thug, his position has been given away. Let's see what really happens. Voltrucks at a sliver of HP needs to deny the entry of all these other teams, making their way inside the circle. I8 again very well split apart from each other as Daku decides to push in on the players of Qureshi Sports. Clown on really low HP but gets traded off by Sardarji. This is where Joker needs to come to his rescue for his teammate, but that's not gonna happen as Quresh still somehow successfully managed to get the better out of them. But just when they were trying to get in those revives, I8 come in from nowhere, get that finish secured. But now the biggest huddle for Team I8 is going to be in the forms of Team the Grounders, a team that has not been at the best of their form lately. But this could all change with them getting this chicken dinner. Still have all 4 of their players alive. Goose somehow needs to hold on to the fort, needs to make sure that he defends off this attack all by his lonesome, realizing that this could get really messy. Caves up on that little higher ground. It was an important spot for I8, and this is slipping away from their hands.
Well, looks like it is slipping away, but let's see. They have the confidence, they have the firepower. Being outnumbered, the things could turn in their favor if Team Grounders and Magnus Esports decide to pick fight with each other. But no, it's I8 who is grabbing all the attention as Rollin is cooking up another grenade and Uzm is bleeding out. That means IQ, he's a lot on his plate. He has to survive Magnus, he has to give revive to his teammate, and the smoke is not helping him out at all, because that smoke is giving away his position to the players of Grounders as well. And I8, well, looks like things are not working for them, but things are definitely working for the players of Magnus Esports, who managed to take the control of the circle from the hands of I8.
Nasty, nasty. Again, some bad decision making coming in from IQ, splitting their players, taking the brunt. Now it all comes down to Ghost, but Magnus, they're in such good control over this entire game. Ghost on really low HP, as now he's just been caught in the crossfire between Magnus and the Grounders. right at the very center. What does he do? Has nowhere to run and hide. Just has to wait to meet his makers. Has to stay in hiding, trying to play for position point. But finally, Ghost gets picked off, and the Grounders did manage to get that first finish. Finally, 25 minutes inside the game. But Magnus, this is a team that comes with driving momentum right now as Mr. Black gets finished off. It is going to be a 3v4 situation, and Sensi, he's got to push in from that blue out there, taking some massive amount of damage as Finisher gets that knock again. Siu also getting picked off almost as Sad Boy, there you go, gets taken down. Siu also falls, and there you have it. There you have it, Team Magnus get another chicken dinner. Wow, this team, they do not seem to stop at anything at all. 12 eliminations is what they have secured, and they have done it in style. Again, Team I8 had the possibilities of getting that chicken, and all they had to do was stay together and not understanding that fact, rather than deciding to go for splits even when there are 3-man squad. And that really backfired, and Magnus sticking to each other, helping each other out. They did not have the zone. They made their way into it, carved their way into it, took those fights. Uzum again being out of his position, and that is where, and that is how he got picked off, and hence that beautiful, beautiful chicken dinner.
Well, certainly they fought with tooth and nail, and they were rewarded with 15 points and good defeat points as well. But Grounders also have to say, yes, they are not able to get the elimination points, defeat points for themselves, but the way they are performing in this week, they are getting good plays.
Cover me! Reloading! Team match, let's go.
The blue team has scored for the first time!
Clear! Enemy down! Cover me! Reloading! Target down! Cover me! Reloading!
Killing spree for the blue team!
Cover me!
Blue team is in the lead.
You're about to win.
The red team doesn't have a lot of time left.
Kill. Cover me. Clear. Reloading. Blue team victory.
Week number one, they are stepping up, they are showing good performance slowly and steadily. They are making an impact. Mutual Shot Sky, yesterday was their day, three back-to-back chicken dinner, but today not so much, I'll say. But yes, other teams are also stepping up, but top teams, Magnus Esports, they were right in the thick and thin of action. The way they were raining death and destruction everywhere, it wasn't easy for them to move inside the circle and grab that winner chicken dinner, where all the other teams who were inside the circle, like IA, Dream, Grounders, they also started falling down.
Absolutely. With that, looking at the leaderboard, the overall leaderboard, as I like to call it, the storyboard itself, let's have a look at it and find out how these teams have fared right now. Again, viewers, keep in mind that when it comes down to the leaderboard, we are going to be looking at the top 12 teams that are going to be able to participate in, of course, the final match, the sixth match that will be played tomorrow on the map of Livik. But for that, we do, of course, have the stats on our screens where, based on the overall ranking for week 2, after the 18 matches that have in total been played, Magnus Esports find themselves on the first position with 6 chicken dinners, the only